early listeners of the show, you guys might remember this time roughly last year, Adam and I went through our predictions in terms of what we thought game releases were going to be coming out, and what we thought the scores were going to be. So, Adam, I think if I recall, we were doing Prices Right rules in the sense of
it was if you go over, nobody wins.
Yes, but if you get it 100% correct, it is worth 2 points, right?
I don't know if we did that rule, but I mean, I can certainly adjust to being as such.
No, it's totally fine. It's whatever you want to do. You are the official scorekeeper of this, so I'm trusting you. So with that, I pass it over to you, sir. So maybe you can let the readers know the game. Like, well, do you want to do it like one? Like, we'll do one game each.
I got it perfectly in order here. So,
okay, cool. You know what? I'll let you have the reins, sir.
We did a total of 10 games. We guessed that. We figured if a tiebreaker needed to be happening, we didn't think that far ahead. So we'll see what happens when we get there.
Wait, are you spoiling it already?
What? No, I didn't say anything. What? We started off with Resident Evil 8 Village. There were a couple of games on the list that we considered whether they were coming out or not. Obviously, Resident Evil 8 Village seemed like one of the very few that was like a guarantee to be released. I put it up at an 88, my brain power being that they would continue to feed off of what the last Resident Evil game did. You were a little more conservative with an 82. You just obviously thinking, well, I can't possibly go over 88. I mean, 90s are pretty hard to come by. So, you had good math there. And it did pay off. Resident Evil 8 Village is currently sitting at an average of 84. Yeah. So that is 1-0 for Kaylan. But I want to remind you, you did really good when we were doing our Game Awards things, and then you faltered. So be careful.
No, not this time.
Next up was Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We had...
I don't think I did well in this.
No. I will spoil that one. No, you did not. You went with a 79. You were way undershooting that. Probably because the first Ratchet & Clank was fine, but it didn't blow things away. And I think you also thought that if I remember correctly, like the rifting thing might not have really given it nearly as much.
Which I was totally right. It was totally just a quick, circumstantial thing.
Well, it seems everybody else loved it because I gave it an 83. The overall is at 88 because it's only one console I have to really look off of. Now, unfortunately for me, it doesn't mean I get an extra point because we did make a deal that I said it could actually be as high as a 91, but I'll stick with the 88. And you were like, well, if it gets above a 91, that'll be 2 points. I was wrong on that front, so it didn't quite work out in my favor that way, but it is a point for me nonetheless. It is a 1-1 tie. After that, we have God of War Ragnarok. I thought this was going to be a Game of the Year potential, and I gave it a 90. You were the smart one and said it wasn't going to come out in 2021. So, yeah, that kind of worked out in your favor, didn't it?
Oh, you know what? It hurts that I'm right. I'm happy that I'm right, but I would really wish I was wrong. So
it is one of those games you're like, I would have loved to be right, or loved to be wrong, though. I mean, it's still TBA, but you gotta figure. I mean, we hear the rumors. We hear the rumors of Sony doing their next thing is going to be in February. So
there's a rumor every year that they're going to do their big thing.
Well, this is the one that's kind of caught. Like there hasn't been a January one, so February seems to be a little bit more sensible, especially with Horizon almost out. Like it would make sense that they would do one on the heels of Horizon coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. You got the point there for not releasing, so it's a weird way to get a point, but it's a point nonetheless. It's 2-1 for Kaylan. The next one is a complete wipe because it's Horizon Forbidden West. We both gave scores, and it means nothing because the game doesn't exist as well. That will be something I guess we have to push into 2022. I mean, just for collection's sake, you put it at an 83, I put it at a 91. I said before the show, I'm a little bit worried that I might end up not liking it as much as I think I will, because open world games as of late have not triggered me very strongly.
No,
so I'm a
Sony,
little bit worried about it.
Sony exclusive.
Who knows? Could be.
Trust on the exclusive.
It should be really good. I'm hoping it is. I mean, I want it to be, but yeah.
Right? I don't know. My concern with it is that, and I haven't seen a lot. I've been trying to go radio silent on it, but my concern is it's going to feel too much like more Horizon Forbidden West.
Or Zero Dawn, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, it's definitely gonna feel more like more Horizon Forbidden West.
You know what my honest worry is? I don't know if the water sections are gonna be any good. That's my if the water sections are awesome, I have more confidence going in. But I'm a little bit worried that an open world with water is gonna be a little bit weird.
I hope the thing that I think that they need to fix is the traversal. The traversal was really the biggest issue with the first one, and I think that if they could fix it and the underwater, I think we'll be fine.
Yep. Next up, we had Back for Blood. You went with the $1 on that one because you thought there was a pretty good chance of it going real low, and I had it at 77.
I'm a coward.
Here's the thing. You were in the right that it wasn't going to get a high score, but it was a 77 on the dot.
You know what? I think, yeah.
So that's 2 points for me.
I'll give you 2 points on that one. Wait. But then, do I get 2 points for God of War then? Because I called that one out coming out.
That's saying 0.
And I was right.
You just
All right, go ahead. 2 points for you.
I think it's a little bit harder to guess a no release than it is to guess a number out of, well, realistically, it's like a number out of 40 because there's never going to be anything below 60 usually.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition?
Okay, but we also did know that was going to exist, and I think all of us probably would have bet low on that one anyway.
Not that low.
Oh yeah, I don't think I would have gone that low, but either way, that would make it 3-2 for me.
Okay.
Halo Infinite. We both severely undershot this one. You went with a 75. I unfortunately win just on being a little bit higher, but at a 78 when the game is currently sitting at 87, neither of us look too good on that pick.
Now, I'm hearing mixed messages. Like, I feel like that game, like, I'm hearing mixed things from people that I talk to. Like, some love it, some hate it, some like it, but there's problems with it. Like, that seems like a very... That seems to run the gambit.
I'm hearing you say that just reviewers are bought off. I think you're just feeding into that conspiracy there, Kaylan.
You believe in reviewers?
No, I don't believe in anything, actually. So yeah, that makes it 4-2 for moi. That's a little French for you guys there. Deathloop, since I made the reference earlier. Up next, I gave it a 74 because I was really worried about it. You still gave it a little more of a fair shake at an 80. We were still both really off, as it was obviously a Game of the Year candidate, but at 88, that still means Kaylan gets a victory regardless.
Isn't it ironic that I put it so low and it ended up being my Game of the Year last year?
It might be a really good game whenever I get around to it too. Who knows? But
it will be,
I can't wait to come on here and being like, meh. But I know I'm going to eat crow when I end up saying this game was friggin' awesome. But hey,
right.
that is a potential 2023 problem based on how my backlog is working. So.
Why haven't you gotten that game yet? Like, it was on for like $30 on Boxing Day. Like, what are you waiting for to pull the trigger?
Because I'm so nervous about how I've never liked Dishonored. My brain's like, I need $19.99 for this thing for me to trust it. Also, my backlog is so big, there's no reason for me to buy it because it wouldn't even be like the third thing I'd play right now. I'm
just waiting for you to come on the one day and be like, I have seen the light, Kaylan. I am with you now. Deathloop, Game of the Year 2021. Well,
you're just gonna have to hang on for quite a while longer at the rate things are going. So just hold tight there, bud. But yeah, that puts you up, or I think that ties us 4-4.
Okay.
Then we go to Far Cry 6, where we both lose on the basis of it being even worse than we thought it would be. I went with a 78, you went with a 75. Its average is currently at 74.
Oh.
So just barely. So you almost got the extra point too, but just missed it by that much. I'm not surprised, though, that it didn't end up being nearly as interesting as people wanted it to be. Because again, I've been saying it since Far Cry 3. The only reason I like 5 is because there's a bit of, fun in taking away, cultists. That's fun. But like I played 4 and went, this is literally 3, but I hate the people that I'm supposed to be fighting for even more. Mm-hmm. So like I don't like this at all. And I think they were going with like everybody liking Voss, and they're like, oh, you really want cool villains. I'm like, no, you misunderstood what we liked about Voss.
Yeah, he was just entertaining.
Pagan Min was like they were trying to make him like a Deadpoolish villain, and I'm like, no, you're misunderstanding why we actually like villains sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, but in this game, one of your favorite actors are in there. And, well, me first was like, well, I didn't watch Breaking Bad, so it doesn't apply to me. But then secondly, I think I shouldn't be liking the villains. Stop.
I still can't get over the fact you haven't seen Breaking Bad.
I don't watch a lot of live action TV, to be honest.
That's a show you
It's real. It's The Expanse and The Man in the High Castle are like my two big ones, and that, well, not counting Marvel shows, but otherwise, like outside of Marvel, it's literally been those two, and that's mostly it.
Give Breaking Bad a shot. You will once again come back and say,
I mean, it'll probably be similar to what I did with Game of Thrones and Walking Dead, where everybody talks so much about it, and I'm like, I mean, I can see why some people like it, but I don't care much.
I'd say Breaking Bad holds up.
We'll see, but again, that comes around to, okay, well, I still have a massive game backlog and also a crap ton of anime that I've missed over the last couple of years too. So I can add it to the list. I just can't guarantee I'm going to get to that list anytime soon.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we're still sitting at a 4-way or a 4-4 tie. It's like 4-way tie. I'm like, wait, we have no guess here. Ghostwire Tokyo, same deal. We gave ratings. I gave a 65. You gave a 76. Doesn't matter. Still hasn't come out yet. So that is a wash. And then lastly, we get to what is now the tiebreaker of Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. You went with an 85. I went, well, as Nintendo, the reviewers really love their Nintendo games, and I went 90.
It's 84, isn't it?
With an average score, and by average I mean a 1 score because there's only one console it's available on, Kaylan wins because it's an 89. It just missed me.
Yes.
At the very beginning, and I was checking this one because it was the first game that came out on our review list, and it was sitting at 90 for a while, and then it dropped to 87, and I'm like, oh no, and then it started going back up, and then as the year ends, it is at an 89. It did not quite make it for me. With a score of 5 to 4.
Making all those fake accounts and just putting on fake reviews just to lower the score totally worked.
I mean, all the fake accounts that I was trying to do to get God of War to actually release, that didn't work either. So I can't say my bot account skills are all that good.
What's a bot?
With a score of 5 to 4, Kaylan apparently knew 2021 just that much more.
Yeah, your boy came through. Suck it, Adam.